Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. Today, I'm your host, Alan, and we are delighted that you've chosen to be with us today on this wonderful November morning. So I don't know about you, but we had a wonderful Halloween, and we are all a community of like-minded people. So welcome, and I know that you'll enjoy today's service. So let me tell you a little bit about us crazy bunch here at CSL Charlotte. We are a community based on the New Thought teachings, and our founder is Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He combined all of the wisdom and knowledge from so many different spiritual traditions and created a fresh, new recipe of how we see the world. He was like a master chef that combined all the different ingredients together and fused them to a whole new dish. And I've been interested in learning more about French cooking lately, so I had to throw that in there. Anyway, so let me tell you a little bit about what we do here. We are a diverse ingredient. We are a diverse community. We are a bunch of diverse ingredients in a fresh new soup. It doesn't matter your race or your sexual orientation or your gender. Everybody is welcome here because we are all divine ingredients in this wonderful primal soup called life. So if that sounds great to you, then know that you are welcome here. Uh, and we also honor all of the different religious traditions and spiritual paths. We borrow different ideas from the Bible, from the Quran, from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Tao Te Ching. And this month, we're also recognizing our indigenous people, such as the Cherokee, the Navajo, and their wisdom this month. So everybody's all welcomed here because we're all different facets of the same divine presence. So our vision here at CSL Charlotte is to create a community of leaders who not only know this teaching, but also live it and fully embody it and can share this message out to the world so everybody else can transform into their true, authentic selves. This is our vision and our mission in this community. And another way that you can experience it for yourself is for you to go to our weekly nights, Tuesday conscious meetings. And there you'll get to at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesdays, Eastern Time. And that is a great way for you to experience it for yourself. So I would like to share a quote that goes on with our theme for today, and is by our founder, Ernest Holmes. Each one of us is an outlet to God and an inlet to God. So let me say that again. Each one of us is an outlet to God and an inlet to God, by our founder, Ernest Holmes. And with that, drum roll please for our fabulous, radiant Reverend Rosedale Jones.
Woo! Welcome, 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 everybody. Whether you are on YouTube, which you probably are, or you are here this morning, and this is just a great place to be as well. Thank you to our fabulous MC. I need to all of us to thank him and say that was just fabulous, very upbeat and brought me in really good. But the outlet and the inlet of spirit is everything to me. I like that. So that being said, everybody, welcome. And realize that you're being welcomed to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte, which is the Mind Body Spirit Center. So we are acknowledging, like Alan said, the Indian Heritage Month. And this is basically a celebration also. So we're celebrating their contributions and the cultures of the Native Americans and the indigenous people in the United States. Because you see, Native American tribes have a deep-rooted connection to the land, and they are known for caring for the land all these years, and this is what they do. So I'm so grateful that they were here so long before us and have kept things nice and strong for all the animals and the deer, because I get to see the deer every morning outside my window and just adore that. So I'm just grateful that they took care of this for them. And the first thing we do is we bring in and open up our celebration with a spiritual prayer, which is an affirmative prayer. And you'll hear later that our affirmative prayers are not beseeching. We know what they're all about. So we're going to ask our I call her our spiritual harmony steward. And that is Jerry Campbell, aka Groovy G. And she's going to set the tone for our celebration with an affirmative prayer. And today we're deciding to see the physical, which means see beyond the physical, but feel the spirit. So now you'll hear in Groovy's prayer if she sees the physical or feels spirit more, but you'll tell. So if you want a prayer and you want to know more about how you can see the physical and feel the spiritual, put in a prayer request and go to our website now and request a prayer to see the physical and feel the spiritual and read it every day. And with that being said, here's one more thing I need to tell you. We have a spiritual practitioner, Maureen Thurston, who will be taking that prayer and sending it right back to you in your inbox. So with that being said, Groovy, know it and let's get it on. Let it rip.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you to Spirit for having us wake up this morning. Thank you to my friends at CSL Charlotte. Thank you to everyone for being here, for being my spiritual partner, for knowing that even though I see this physical world around us, we feel the spiritual. We feel how it takes care of us. We know that everything goes well in this world, in our lives. We know that no matter what happens, we get through it. All is well. We know that our time here today is very precious and we're going to just enjoy ourselves. We thank spirits for everything that happens, everything good and even bad, because we learn from that. We release this prayer into the world, knowing that all is well because we are all connected. And so it is.
And so it is clearly Groovy is definitely seeing the spirit and at the same time making it all good. She's also feeling spirit. So with that said, that's you can't go wrong with that. So next on our platform is our reader, Horace DeBush. Now Horace is our operations coordinator, and what he does is, to me, it seems like he knows very well. So when you hear his reading, you're going to know that he sees the physical or beyond the physical, but at the same time, he knows how to feel the spiritual too. So let's see what it means to him in his reading. So listen to his reading and you'll know what he sees to be physical and beyond physical and what he knows to feel the spiritual. What it means to him and what it means to us. We're going to let that transform to us. So after Horace's reading, listen to the song I'm Protected by Amelia and prepare yourself to practice and see the physical, feel the spiritual today, and let Horace make it do what he do. Horace, make it do what it do.
Thank you so much, Reverend Rosedale, and I feel honored today to bring um, this little piece of knowledge I want to drop on you from our own Reverend Rosedale, entitled "Awakening to Abundance: The Interconnected Web of Life." So take a deep breath, because I really want you to absorb just exactly um, what we're talking about here. So, when we allow ourselves to become conscious of the existence of a universal God, and again, it doesn't matter what you want to call it. You can call it spirit. You can call it the universe. You can call it love. But whatever you call it, here's what I want you to know. Beliefs in evil, sin, sickness, limitation, death, whatever it is, it tends to disappear. We no longer ask, we no longer beg or beseech or plead as though God is not willing, or begging as though he, quote unquote, is withholding. We believe that the noun God has no gender, like we just said. You can call it whatever you want to call it, because it is beyond gender. It is the divine energy associated with all and everything that we see. Each of us choose the pronoun that resonates with each and every one of us, because that is the power within you. It is that power as we feel it, the power within ourselves. It is the beauty all around us. It is the beauty about all of this. No two people feel this power in the same way. Okay? So I want you to realize, and recognizing this divine energy within us, through us, around us, as we see it, we embody this abundance and love that the universe, also known as God, also known as spirit, also known as love, has to offer. We are empowered to heal, to grow, and to experience life as spiritual beings, what? Having a human experience. Because here's what I want you to know, that we are all interconnected in this web of life. Each and every one of us is a reflection, just like you see the reflections of a diamond, the facets of a diamond. It is the reflection of that divine love and power. And so as we align our thoughts, feelings, and actions with this knowingness, okay, we step into a life of greater ease, of greater peace, of greater joy and fulfillment. We create spiritual practices on and I'm going to put this in here, on a daily basis, okay, to gain insight from the power that dwells within us, not to mention prayer work, okay? Now, while there are several methods of spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer that we use, there are two. I want you to really get this. There are two distinct methods of prayer. There's the one that most of us know about, the argumentative, and there's also the realization prayer. The argumentative method involves the spiritual practitioner, meaning this is the person that is doing the praying for whoever or whatever he or she is praying about. The practitioner argues with himself or herself about this prayer to bring him or herself to the point of complete knowingness, complete affirmation. In other words, the minute that he or she knows what they are praying about and knowing that this is true, that is the point of complete affirmation. So here's what I want you to really get. Training the mind in this way helps the person praying to firmly believe that what he or she is praying about will actually and does actually manifest. And now the realization method is when the person praying knows that the prayer is manifested as they speak it from their lips, from their mind, or write it. And that's what you need to know about the realization prayer. So, quote, once we recognize, personalize, and believe in the power within us, our prayers are answered before they are declared. And that is from our Reverend Rosedale Jones. And so it is. Ashe.
Oh, yes. Wow. We're going to take a short centering and just focus on that song about I'm protected. So to take that short centering, let's first take a nice deep breath. Relax the eyes, relax the nerves around the eyes, and lay your eyes in your lap or just close them. Because now we can take a moment to breathe in really, really deep. And as we slowly exhale, feel so much peace that you feel protected. Because that's how you feel the spirit. See, this song, I'm Protected, cordially invites us to see the physical, or AKA beyond the physical, and feel the spiritual. See, Amelia's saying, I'm willing to let go. You got to let go. We must be willing to let go of the fears and the negations and stuff like that that don't serve us, so that we can see beyond the physical and we can feel spiritual. See, feeling the spiritual is feeling protected. And so I see that, I know for sure that it's the fears and the worries and the distractors that we just got to let them sit off to the wayside, because those things don't give you that feeling of protection. So when you truly release that worry, that doubt, that fear, you trust. That's the only thing you can do, because all that other stuff is gone. Trust that you're free to be able to see the physical, yet feel the spiritual. And so that's what we need to do. See the physical beyond it and feel the spiritual. And this way, we no longer have to worry about any other stuff. See, the longer I do my spiritual practices, the easier it is to let my trust flow. And so when I let go of all of that fear, worry, and doubt, I do all the things I want to do. So are you ready to release or get away or move away from pain on this journey? Because we're always on a journey. You'll never be off the journey unless you, well, no, even if you go to the other side, you're always on the journey. So this way, think about it today as we see the physical and feel the spiritual. So you're at choice whether you want to get into that and choose to incorporate spiritual practices to feel spirit. That's good. Then that way you can just ease up and know that's what you want. So wiggle your fingers and your toes and basically integrate that mind, that body, and that spirit. Those three, so very important. And as you float your eyes open and come back in to the space that we're in, the consciousness container, now you can allow something in your space to connect you back to this present moment right here, while I take a gratitude moment right here. And thank you, Alan, for being our MC and for your fabulous quote. And thank you, Groovy, for your incredible opening prayer. And thank you, Brother Horace, for reading what I wrote, which is entitled The Interconnected Web of Life, because you rocked that reading. So I must say, so we're all about see the physical today after Horace's reading and feeling the spiritual. See, very much aware that we're all about mental, physical, and spiritual, and it all exists in one capsule. And so I believe it so much that it's so easy for me to see the physical and beyond it when I need to, and also feel the spiritual. See, my awareness, my spiritual practice, my prayer work, and all of that stuff, what does it do? It elevates me all the way so that I can easily see the spiritual. See the physical and feel the spiritual. It works. See, what happens is I'm a part of a philosophy. This is why I know, and it feeds me so well, called science of mind. This is what we are. And this is what it does. It proves to me that there's a layer within us that's so affirmative, and that's the only way we can have the things we want. So that's why we have prayer work called affirmative prayer. See, there's no begging. There's no beseeching some God up there in the sky handing off deciding whether you're good enough to have the things that you choose to profess. See, Spirit, God, just like Horace's reading said, he told you, you got every word, every single pronoun in there. It's love. That's exactly what this God is. It's love. It's not a presence to fear. Somebody up there, you got to say, I fear God. I hear that. Oh, When I used to hear that as a kid, I couldn't understand it. How could an energy so pure and so wonderful and be so unconditional like that? I mean, so conditional like that. Oh, you're not good enough. Well, if I'm not good enough, why am I here? See, this is the thing. I have that power, and I already know that it already exists in me. Do you know that? We recognize that this spirit, and we recognize that we are connected to it in the same way that we want to be connected to it. But it's got to be on the way that you're thinking, because you could be thinking on the fear side of the spectrum. And that is going to connect you to the things that create that fear for you. Or you could be connected to this thing, this power, this source, this spirit, the universe on the love side, where everything you want is going to be connected to you from love. It's all your choice. You see, we here at CSL Charlotte, we are part of this movement. And this spiritual movement is, to me, far beyond all things I have ever learned in my life. We go beyond physical and all the conditions that we see in the world, and we know something greater. We feel something greater. That's when we're feeling the spiritual after looking beyond the physical. See, we perceive the world through our physical senses. All of us do. But yet we know that on a spiritual level, there's things that's so much more powerful. That's why I know for a fact that we're spiritual beings, having spirit, having physical, having human experiences, well, physical experiences. I know. But the thing is this, when we practice long enough, I talked about that last week. When we practice long enough, it's not that difficult for us to actually see the physical, beyond the physical, and also to feel the spiritual. You feel it in spiritual practice. What do I mean when I keep saying see the physical? I'm really talking about see, but beyond it. No, it's here. Don't be a nut. Be real. But see beyond that. I don't need to have that if I don't choose to have it. All I gotta do is do my little spiritual practice. I get to feel spirit. When I get to feel spirit, I'm in my spiritual practice. See, that's the basis of this philosophy and our journey. And as we change our view on life, as we change our view on the condition in front of us, as the physical in front of us, we begin to feel the spirit. But it has to be done through some type of practice. The world is based on practice. Practice! A higher consciousness is developed within us by shifting the way we look at things, the way we look at the forms right now, or the conditions that we see. You know what? We also feel, we got all these other senses that go with this. We also hear, we even taste all that power. And you know what? It's a big, beautiful, abundant energy that's just constantly rolling around. And I talked about that last week too. That this is we're in a field called the unified field. We're in it, we're around it, and we're connected through it like spider webs, right? That's why we think and know what somebody else is feeling. Sometimes you may even call your friend. This is what makes me know we're truly living when we accept that we have the ability to see the physical, yet beyond it, and feel spiritual. The spiritual. I have to say the spiritual, because it's the spiritual, not the physical, that's really going to take us where we truly want to be. Now, prayer is an answer all its own. See, before our prayer, that's what you said. You heard what Horace said before it's even declared. My quote said, before our prayer is even framed or fixed in words, the possibility, oh my God, I just can't get over this. It's already here. The answer, it's already here. It's already existed. But you're here on the fear side, and it's going to be a little tough to see that. So you have to move to the spiritual side and start to feel it. That's when you start to know that it's the same thing. It's just energy. Fear and love. Which energy do you want? See, I say I'd rather see beyond the physical and feel the spiritual. That's what I say. See, because listen to me about prayer. Prayer is a certain mental attitude. Ever heard that before? No, I just thought about it the other day and said, it is. It's an attitude. It's a certain way of thinking. It's a certain uplifting. When you start saying and praying to yourself and start understanding, yeah, that's who I am. Huh? Right? That's that pride in yourself. Prayer is a certain belief in whatever pronoun we use, whether it be the word God. And this way we can put that bridge between God and us and seeing beyond the physical and also feeling the spiritual. I alternate between those two words. I say God. No. I don't really say God as much. I say the power within me, and I also say spirit. But I use a lot of other ones, but those are my two main ones. What are yours? Know them. You know, maybe sometimes I go in and out all day. Sometimes I go to the universe. Sometimes I go there. But my pronoun is going to be recognizing that moment of how I'm feeling because I know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, I got this thing. I got the feeling of the spiritual. That's my spiritual right that moment. I could call it the energy. And it works for me that day. Or, just like I said, the universe. When I pray, I be looking in my mind to uncover the science of prayer. And I also want to know the essence of exactly what I'm saying because now I'm embodied, like Horace said in the reading. I'm embodied by the spirit within me. And the spirit within me is embodied with me. So it's an in and ooh, 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 just like Alan said in his quote, it's an inlet and an outlet. I'm in and in, and it's in me. We manifest things just based on our life and our beliefs. There's nothing outside of us that's going to double check and say, did you really mean to say you're sick? Did you really mean to say you're a loser and fix you? No, that's not going to happen. It just says, yes, you're a loser. Because you called yourself that, right? Your wish is my command. And it's all based on your thoughts and your beliefs. So you and me would be wise to keep checking on to see what it is we're on that day. Am I on the fear side today? Am I on the love side? Keep that check going on. You got to do this inventory of your mind. See, the spirit within us answers all the time. It's always correct. You might be saying, you feel so bad yesterday and you're so embarrassed because this thing happened and da, 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 da. So all you're going to do all that day is feel embarrassed. All you're going to do that day is make all these mistakes because you are so worried. The spirit answers your questions. This power within you answers your questions no matter what side of the spectrum you're on. Your questions and your prayers are answered. You don't have to even utter. It's done. So there's no need to complain about the life that we live if we are not willing to change from the fear side to the love side. No need, don't complain, don't even ask. Because our prayers are made in a conversation, right? We are praying from that same space that everybody else in the world prays from. Maybe they're not sure about who they're praying for, but it's there. So, but you know what? When we do go into our spiritual practice or in our prayer work, we are really actually shutting out everything else. And then what we're doing is we're entering into this presence. Oh my goodness. And then we got a lot of expectation there. We got a lot of confidence in there, and we got a lot of knowing in there when we decide to set up a prayer, an affirmative prayer, not the beseeching one. See, we got to train our minds through spiritual practice like meditation. We got to use things like that, reflection, journaling, and prayer work. Then we get ourselves all nicely fueled up, and this power within us sends us. We send back and forth to each other, us and the power, what we believe. What is God in our lives? Because God in our lives is the things we believe it to be. And if you're going to believe it to be something opposite of what you're expecting, then so be it. But as you evolve, as we evolve, you should remember, if we believe something that's true, so be it. It's true. And the truth has to be felt within, and that's also spiritual. That's also feeling the spirit, because you believe that it's going to rain today, and you believe it's not going to work out for you. And guess what? The truth is what you got. Okay? And that's what it is. So whatever you believe, whatever you think is true to believe, that is exactly what you receive. So it's important to stay very, very focused, to stay focused on your spiritual practices and train that mind and keep it trained. Because we just we don't just take one vitamin C and think we're done for the rest of the day. So we don't do one spiritual practice and think that, oh, I'm good. Oh, I did a meditation, I think last Tuesday. Really? Oh my God, it's just like breathing every day. I'm focused on my practices. I also like focusing. I was really digging what's going on with the indigenous people this week in my neighborhood. This community, I love it. They seem to enjoy the celebrations of what's going on. We had fireworks every night this week because of certain parts of what they do. I just like that. That's spiritual practice. Celebrations are spiritual practices. So I was admiring it, enjoying it, and having fun, listening to all of them outside or watching them go in and out of the buildings, do whatever they're doing. But it was just phenomenal. Indigenous people practice a variety of traditions. Why don't we pick up on some of their lessons as well? You know, they harmonize with holistic healing and all of that great stuff, you know? So just know, practice is practice. Celebrating is practice. And I'm digging how they're celebrating themselves. And I had to bring them up because they're very, very, in my heart, very spiritual. So back to the practice of prayers real quick. Now, remember, you heard the quote that Horace read. He said, once we recognize, personalize, and believe in the higher power within us, not that thing that somebody created out there for us to be looking at, our prayers are already answered before we utter or declare them. But you know what? He also read, if you are in your prayers and you actually think them, you write them, you read them, whatever, you can get one from Mo, and that's your prayer that you read for the day. Guess what? You're reading it, you're saying it, so you better know that it's time for you to see the physical, look beyond it, and feel the spiritual. So that's all I know. I don't know anything else. I just know we are 100% in control of our life. I have to stay reminded about my purpose in everyday life. So I got this thing that I wrote. I write whenever I get tired of those words. I write a thing called the purpose of life. And I just read it every day until when I'm thinking like, oh, I don't know how this is going to work out. I just read it. I read the thing I wrote. And it tells me who I am again. I get back to remember. Woo, you forgot who you are? Well, good. Now here you go. Read you again. You wrote it. That's what you believe about you. It uplifts me. Uplifts me or uplifts me? That's pretty much what I mean by that quote that I wrote, that Horace read. Right? So just know that. So we are the kingdom of God. When everybody comes saying, go to the kingdom of God, you're going to die and go to the kingdom. No, you are the kingdom of God. And we allow ourselves to become conscious of that when we do, and we truly do, all that stuff about sickness and evil and all that stuff, yeah, you don't even, it's not even in your mind anymore. It disappears, just like the reading, you know? Take inventory of that mind. I take them every day. I do my own every day. And no matter what I do, it's true. So if I say to myself, I believe I can fly, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Next week, I might say, I want X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to fly and soar and be the best at it. Because I'm going to tell you what happened. When I got when I got certified last week as this from the National Association of Sports Medicine, I love the science stuff. Well, when I got certified, I didn't just get certified. I got certified with distinction. Okay? And that's why I know for a fact that visioning and all the things I said I was going to do was going to have to be. So, with that all said, praying is a visual thing. Praying is an attitude. Spiritual practice is an attitude. And I got this attitude, this confidence that everything I say about me is real and it's so true. So, what about you? Do you believe you can fly? If I say I believe I can fly, I'm going to be flying next week. I'm going to soar. So we got to do it, but it's all metaphoric, but it's okay because my spirit is flying. My spirit is it. I feel the spirit. So it's also done through that. All that's done through my spiritual practices. So with that song, remember, before we do that song, remember what I said to you last week about the quantum physics. We're in a unified field. And so when you say things like, I believe I can fly in this field, look out. You will be flying in a powerful and positive way. So listen to that song, I Believe I Can Fly by Yolanda Adams as she brings us to the next part of our service. Oh my God. I was telling Alan, I wish I could sing like her, boy. Oh my, I can believe I can sing like her. I was looking at, doesn't sound like she believes she can fly, y'all. Because I hope you think so. Because if there's something, anything at all you think you can do it. But if you're thinking about it every night and day, you're going to spread your wings, baby, and you're going to soar. So see beyond the physical and feel the spiritual. So spread your wings, fly away this week, and me. Okay. Thank you so much, Horace the Bush, and that's the man there. He hit that reading today, boy. Whoa, he hit a nerve with me on that one because it caused me to go way off into that talk today. Whoa. So this is the time to talk about birthdays, and mine is in 2 weeks. I get to talk about mine. So mine is on a Thursday this month, the Thursday, exact Thursday before Thanksgiving. So, I'm going to be enjoying that. You better believe me. I'm going to be out there celebrating my birthday, okay? For Thanksgiving. I have my family do my Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving. I have my birthday on Thanksgiving, even though I was born 2 days before that. Some days it depends on what day my birthday falls on. But this year I'm going to celebrate it on the whole 2 or 3 weeks from that day all the way back, all the way until the January. That's me. I love my birthday. So what about you? I don't know your birthday, but I just told you mine. So just put your month and your day in. I could care less about your year. Me personally, I'm not ashamed of my age. So I can tell you my year. What you gonna do with it? You can't do nothing with that. So anyway, guys, celebrate your birthday and jot it down in the comments or send it to us in the chat. Just your day and your month. Yes, that's right. No years. So that being said, guys, send that birthday in. So with that being said, I'm going to give a big shout out now to our awesome and fabulous platform team because these people here, boy, they make it work. They make it rain. That's what they do. They make it rain. So this morning on the platform, we have our MC, Alan Lilly. He's the man that brought me into the talk today with the inlet and the outlet. Oh my goodness, that was so real. So there's no like this to me. It's like spirit is here, but I'm here too. So it's like back and forth, in and out. Isn't that something? Just think about it. So it didn't. Also, we had our opening and closing prayer, which we didn't have the closing one yet. So I gotta remember that, right, Groovy? So Groovy, she came in and brought me into that with that powerful prayer that she brought in, and then also, I want you to know that she is our spiritual harmony steward. She keeps everything in harmony back there behind the scenes and also keeps it nice and quiet. And then Horace, he read the reading and he hit that thing on the head. Bam! He took that hammer and hit it. And then not only did my brother Alan, my right-hand man, decide he's going to do the what did you do today?
Prayer.
The MC? He also did the announcements and no, the music. And Horace also did the announcements. So we just got to make sure I got to recognize everybody for what they do. So that's the way I'm saying it. And then we got Mo. She's our emeritus practitioner. And what she does is she's always sending those prayers out. The minute she sees them, boom, they're going out. So if you're on YouTube, and I know some of you are on YouTube sending us, you're coming in, you're subscribing, and I see that often. And I also see you put in prayer requests from YouTube because I can tell may not recognize the name, but it doesn't matter. I know your prayer. So with that, Mo is definitely going to send it out there, and she's going to complete it and send it out to your email. And I'm grateful for her for that too. So with that being said, I guess I got everybody, didn't I? Okay, so we got us all in and we're all moving and cooking on a new stove. We're cooking with gas on a new stove, yes indeed.
And I'm here to remind you, David Ault.
Yeah, cool. So today it's about inspiring us to be in the practice of being able to see the physical, but beyond it. Yeah, we see what's going on. We're being realistic, but at the same time, I'm going to see beyond this, and then I'm going to feel the spiritual. See, and that's what we were doing today. So you just have to do, man, when I started talking about that, I just said, okay, I don't even know what I'm going to say, but I just had to let it rip. So remember this, it's your time. It's your time to be open and receptive to see the physical and beyond and feel the spiritual. But before we close out, keep practicing so that you can see the physical, but you can also feel the spiritual. So this final song for us is going to remind us that how important and magnificent we are. And you better hear it. And you better take that thing with you the rest of this week and know I am powerful and I am so magnificent. So let's get that song before Groovy plays us out. I'm Here to Remind You by David Ault. That man signed off on my practitioner paperwork when I was a practitioner. So that's Dr. David Ault. Wow. Looking at his face, that's a beautiful man there, because I remember way back 20 some odd years ago, I was in his community an awful lot. I got a lot of mentoring from him, and he was the man who signed off on me to go from spiritual practitioner to wherever I was going to go. But I learned a lot from him. He's powerful. He's so smart. So I was sitting here on that song and just literally thinking about him and just saying, wow. So I'm focused on him. I bet you he and I talk sometime this week because I'm feeling him. So anyway, that was David Ault's song. So wow, I can really get wrapped up in the spirit of things here, but I love it. So I'm not going to complain. So that being said, yeah, I know. Why am I so silly? That being said, I'm going to have Ruby pray us out. Ruby, would you please pray us out?
More than happy to. It has been such a delight to be here today, taking in Spirit, knowing that Spirit is always, always with us, always doing what our bidding says, knowing that we are in control of our lives, knowing that Spirit will make it come true, whatever it may be, knowing that we are such a loving congregation, love to be with each other, love to work together. Thank you, Reverend Rosedale, for talking to us with Spirit on your mind and your heart at all times. I release this thanks and give it into the world. And ashe.
Amen and Ashe. That was phenomenal, boy. You gotta know that it's good to have my right hand man, boy. Ooh, and then Groovy knew exactly where I was going. She said, "Okay, I got this." So everything just always like it is. It's just a beautiful thing. So um, I just want to say as we wrap up today, and this was a great time together. Some days is so full, like today. Today is one of those full, beautiful days. My heart is so open, and you know what I want you to do this week? I want you to check in to see if you see the physical, but at the same time, can you see beyond it? And then I want to know, can you actually feel that spiritual energy inside of you? Because chances are you feel that unified field that's around us. If I come in the same room with you, let's say it's Shauna B comes to my house every now and then. So let's say you're in the same room with me. We are in that inner field, unified field, and we're going back and forth with it in love. You know what I mean? So think about that this week. See the physical beyond it, but also feel the spiritual and what you're doing. Be that being who can see. Okay, because remember, you are that spiritual being having that human experience. And so while you're living that, remember the universe is constantly supporting everything with you on your journey to see the physical and feel the spiritual. So, with that being said, until we meet again, stay happy and remember to be grateful that you can see the physical and feel the spiritual. That said, have a great week.